Kristin LaVanway here. Yes, you're in the right class. It's Credit 101. Class is in session. Class, listen up. Credit is scary. A lot of people are really scared about credit. They say, you know what, Kristin, I'd really love to buy a house, but my credit sucks. And maybe their credit does suck, or maybe they just think it sucks, but either way, it's a huge barrier. So let's talk a little bit about that. Let's start off with the people who actually have stinky credit, okay? And let's be honest, if your credit's bad, you're in good company. A lot of people have had credit challenges sometime in their life. It's nothing to be ashamed of, but it's not a good idea to just stick your head in the sand and just say, hey, I suck. If you have high debt, or you have a lot of collection accounts, or you have one of the big 3 black marks, bankruptcy, short sale, or foreclosure, there's ways to get you back into the credit game. You just have to know what to do. So my advice to you is don't go to the guy that you heard on the radio or found on the internet who says, hey, give me a bunch of money and I'll make all your problems go away. That usually doesn't work out so well. I have resources that for free will give you some guidance on what you need to do to repair your credit. And I've seen amazing results. In even 60 to 90 days, I've seen credit scores go up tremendously just because they have a laser-focused plan on how to improve their credit. So like if you have excessive debt, you can learn which debt to tackle first. If you have collection accounts, you can understand how those collection accounts are impacting your credit. Sometimes that's not a barrier that you think, and sometimes there's ways to either work something out with the creditor, or maybe it's a mistake and you just need to work with the credit bureaus to get those removed from your records. There's a waiting period typically associated with bankruptcies, short sales, or foreclosures, and that period of time depends on what you're doing, what kind of mortgage you're trying to get, what your situation is. So the best thing there is to talk with a lender, go over your particular case and hear what they have to say. But you just have to wait it out, and sometimes it's as little as 2 years and you're back in the game, okay? What about those people who think their credit sucks just because they don't really understand what a good credit score is? Well, let's go through a couple credit milestones. The first one is 620. If you can get to a 620, then you've got a foot in the door. Now, if you think that you can't get a mortgage because your credit score is not 620, it's not impossible, it's just super, super hard. If you can get it up to 640, then you're gonna open a few more doors. A lot of people who are concerned about their credit are also a little bit cash strapped. So at a 640 credit score, there are some options for down payment assistance, better interest rates, all kinds of good things that can help you get into a mortgage faster. If you can get up to 660, it's just more goodness. There's more options available for some of these assistance programs. Now, 720, that credit score will get you into the green zone. You actually have good credit then. And yes, it's sunshine and flowers for you because a lot of people will be happy to give you a credit card or give you a loan or just, give you cookies because you're an awesome person. If you keep working and you really nail it and you get up to an 800 credit score, you might as well just put your credit score right on your Match.com profile because you're awesome. There's a category of folks, about 64 million people here in the US, according to housingwire.com, that are considered credit invisible. In other words, they don't have a credit score. Maybe they pay for everything with cash, or maybe they just haven't had a chance to establish credit. And so no one's going to loan them money because they can't assess a risk factor to these people. If you're one of those credit invisible folks and you want to figure out how to get a credit history, well, I can turn you on to some resources that'll give you some guidelines, but really it's a simple matter of establishing trade lines like a credit card or something like that, or a loan or something that puts some positive news on your credit history. Now, this might seem counterintuitive, but as interest rates go up, it's easier for banks to approve people with lower credit scores. So, in other words, a little bit increase in the interest rates, and believe me, they're not skyrocketing, okay? They're between 4 and 4.5% for most people. But as they come up, it's easier for banks to say yes to people who don't have their credit scores posted on their Match.com profiles. So you might see those lending guidelines loosening up a little bit as those interest rates edge up. If your credit is like the main obstacle in you buying a home, don't let it be. Crash that wall. You need a little tutoring to increase your grade in Credit 101? Well, you know where to find me, KristinHereInPhoenix.com, that's where. Go out there and make it a magnificent day.